Question, do you feel older than you really are? One tech executive did. At 300 pounds, battling brain fog and chronic illness, he had the biology of someone twice his age. Now he's aiming to live past 160 years old. Dave Asprey, the father of biohacking and the creator of Bulletproof Coffee, says he used cutting-edge science and self-experimentation to transform his body and his brain. In his latest book, Heavily Meditated, he shares fast, practical tools to reduce stress, sharpen focus, increase longevity, and reset your system from the inside out. Dave, you're known as a biohacker. Let's start with what the definition of that is.
Biohacking is the art of changing the environment around you and inside of you so you have control of your biology. You get to choose your state, but it's not just what you want, it's you set yourself up for success.
Yeah. How did you come across this? Oftentimes when we're moved to do something about something, it's because we have a personal crisis, which you basically did.
Oh yeah, I weighed 300 pounds in my 20s and I had crippling chronic fatigue syndrome and just felt anxious all the time. I realized I had to do something about it. I was a computer hacker, why not hack this? And here we are now 10 years later, and it's a new word in the English language, and there are tens of millions of biohackers around the planet.
All right, being obese, as we know, brings about so many other comorbidities. You had the cognitive fog, arthritis, but also pre-diabetes, if not diabetes, a higher risk for heart attack. For many of us, our response to that is, what pill can I take?
It turns out taking pills didn't work. I tried all that. And I tried going to the gym 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week. And I still was fat. So I realized it was more complex than all the stories. And it wasn't about the pills. It was about figuring out all the little things that I could do that were easy that set me up for success. So I don't need willpower anymore to do this. I just learned how it worked.
Okay, so you developed a term that describes the body's biological system. Is that MEDOS or MEDOS?
The Meat OS. It's like the operating system on your phone or your computer, but your body has one. And it turns out your body wants things different than what your brain wants. So all life on Earth, whether it's a little bacteria or it's a forest, it doesn't matter. Number one, if something is scary, you have to protect yourself. And number two, eat everything. And number three is around fertility and reproduction. These are all F words. So this means for all of us, before our brains can do anything meaningful, our body has decided, do I need to run away from it? Can I eat it? And can I, well, hump its leg?
Yeah.
So no wonder that's all the things I've ever done I'm ashamed of. That's why I was eating all that stuff. That's why I would procrastinate. It was not me. It was my body's automated things. So I figured out how to give my body what it needs to turn fear into peace, to turn cravings into nourishment, and to have healthy relationships. When you do that, you have so much energy left that you want to improve yourself and improve your community. And this is a message for hope. We are all wired to be kind to each other when we're not scared, hungry, and lonely. And we can fix those things.
That's a good point. Body, mind, and soul is what you're addressing there. And your book walks us through it, because some of the things that you say, we look at it and we go, okay, yeah, I do that part. Other things are new to us. One thing is electrical currents on the scalp.
So Heavily Meditated is not really a meditation book, because there's 10,000 of those out there. This is a roadmap to figuring out how you can get into certain altered states that let you go in and change how you feel permanently. And one of the things that we do is we read electricity coming off your brain, or we can even play electricity back in. I've worked with more than 1,000 CEOs over the last 10 years, measuring their brainwaves and learning what specific steps and what order can permanently turn off a trigger. And that is the biggest gift of the book. People spend $20,000 a week to be with me and my team, and I'm giving it away in Heavily Meditated. So you go through these 8 steps, and if something triggers you every time, someone cuts you off in traffic, your boss says something, your spouse says something, you can make it so instead of having to catch that anger and then behave yourself, to just not have the anger in the first place. And that has created so much peace in my own life, and it works.
Yeah. All right. There's another thing you talk about is get the microbiome tested. Microbiome is a word that it's been around for a while, but I think a lot of us are just now hearing it, and we're realizing how important that is. We used to think the brain ruled everything, but that microbiome is important too.
You know, the gut bacteria that you have can completely change your view on the world. They can make you feel anxious all the time, and they can make you fat no matter what you eat. Wow, who would have thought? So getting a test can be as cheap as about $200, sometimes even less. My favorite company is called Viome to do that. But when you do it, you go, oh, if I change what I eat, it changes my bacteria changes my neurotransmitters, and now I'm not anxious and depressed all the time. Maybe that was what it was. No matter how much you exercise, that's not going to change.
Yeah. All right. Let's go through. Part of it also is routine and having the routine of doing good things for your body. The morning routine, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. You start with sunlight. Sunlight as in actually getting into the sunlight or just opening your shades?
It's better to go out and get in the sunlight. When you go outside for 10, 20 minutes in the morning, take off your glasses. What happens is your brain gets a wake-up signal. It has better dopamine, so you're more motivated all day, and then you sleep better at night. And if you rely on willpower all day, you're going to run out. But if you set yourself up by, hey, body, it's morning time, your meditation will be better, and maybe you don't even need to meditate. Yeah. The whole point here is no one has time to meditate. So if you're going to do something that changes your state, you might as well do the thing that takes the least effort and the least amount of time. It turns out sunlight will increase dopamine, which makes you happier.
All right, so let me round out with meditate. I have friends who do it and say it makes the world of difference, and they make the time to do it because it makes the world of difference for them. If we want to try to commit to it, walk us through how to get started, because for me, with my ADHD brain, I start solving the world's problems when my eyes are closed and I'm sitting there, and then I never feel like I really have gotten the benefits of meditation. Does it behoove us to maybe even have a separate space where we do that in, that we dedicate to that, and obviously maybe the same time of day, morning or night?
Having the same time of day is a really good idea, but recognize, hurry, meditate faster, it's a thing. No one has time, and a lot of people don't even have space. So pick a 5-minute window, if that's all you've got, and say, what can I do that's going to get me the most in 5 minutes? It turns out breath work works faster than meditation. So instead of just meditating, add an accelerator from heavily meditated. And for that, you might say, well, I've got to chill out to start meditating with my ADHD brain. So you might breathe in for 4 seconds and breathe out for 8 seconds. Because when your out breath is twice as long as your in breath, magically that will drop your body out of fight or flight, get you present, so then your meditation will work.
Ooh, good tip. I'm going to start practicing that, especially in rush hour traffic. The bottom line in all this is I think a lot of us, we have much more control over our health than I think we sometimes think that we do.
It's not supposed to be hard, but it feels like it's hard. And I have spent $2 million reversing my age. I've worked with 1,000 CEOs to measure their brains as they're meditating to figure out what works faster. And bottom line, I don't have 2 hours a day to meditate. You probably don't either. I have 9 companies, written 9 books. I'm busy, but my brain is so much happier because I learned the things that work faster than meditation, and they're all in heavily meditated. It is so worth your time to read this book.
All right. Thank you so much for your time and sharing it with us.
My pleasure.
Dave Asprey's book, Heavily Meditated, is available wherever books are sold.